Yet ancient Buddhist wisdom might hold the key to breaking this modern addiction.
That's a striking statistic. How does ancient wisdom connect to our digital overwhelm?
Well, there's this powerful concept from the Dhammapada about building an inner island, a mental sanctuary that remains stable no matter what's happening around you. Think of it like having an internal flight mode for your brain.
So it's about creating boundaries with technology?
It goes deeper than that. The teaching suggests starting with just 5 minutes of quiet before reaching for your phone each morning. Research shows this small change can reduce cortisol levels by up to 25% throughout the day.
That's actually quite significant. But what about when really serious challenges hit?
That's where the brilliance of this teaching shines through. It introduces this technique of emotional distancing. Instead of saying, "I am angry," you learn to say, "I notice I am feeling anger." Neuroscience has shown this tiny linguistic shift actually reduces activity in the amygdala, our brain's fear center.
That reminds me of how cognitive behavioral therapy uses similar reframing techniques.
Exactly right. And here's what's fascinating. These Buddhist teachings predate modern psychology by over 2,500 years, yet they're aligned with cutting-edge research on emotional regulation and resilience.
How does someone actually start building this metaphorical island, though?
Well, the teaching breaks it down into 3 key practices. First, there's awareness, simply noticing your breath and bodily sensations. Second, understanding your emotions without getting swept away by them. And third, connecting with your core values.
That last part about values, could you elaborate on that?
There's this powerful exercise where you ask yourself, what would I want people to remember about me? Studies show people who regularly reflect on their values show a 40% reduction in stress-related responses during challenging situations.
That's remarkable. How does this apply to modern challenges like job stress or financial anxiety?
Well, imagine your mind as an ocean. Regular mindfulness practice, even just those 5 minutes each morning, creates what researchers call a cognitive buffer zone. It's like having a mental shock absorber that helps you respond thoughtfully instead of react impulsively.
You know what's interesting about that? It sounds similar to how elite athletes prepare for high-pressure situations.
Exactly. And recent studies have shown that people who practice this kind of mindful awareness make decisions 20% more effectively under pressure. But here's what really catches my attention. The teaching emphasizes that this isn't a solo journey.
How so?
When this was taught to children, they naturally formed support networks, helping each other understand through questions and shared experiences. Modern research confirms that group meditation can amplify individual benefits by up to 150%.
That's fascinating how ancient wisdom aligns with modern data.
And what's particularly relevant is how this applies to our current mental health challenges. With anxiety rates up 25% globally since 2020, having these internal tools for stability becomes crucial.
So it's really about building resilience from the inside out?
Precisely. And here's the encouraging part. Studies show that just 8 weeks of regular mindfulness practice can actually change the physical structure of your brain, particularly in areas related to emotional regulation and decision-making.
That's quite powerful evidence for something that seems so simple.
And perhaps that's the most beautiful aspect is simplicity. You don't need special equipment or circumstances. The materials for building your inner island are already within you, waiting to be discovered.
This really brings ancient wisdom into the modern context in a practical way.
And as we face increasing uncertainty in our world, having this kind of internal stability becomes not just helpful, but essential. It's like having an emotional immune system that helps us stay balanced in an increasingly unbalanced world.